As the head of the Karnataka state government, I have to implement whatever direction given by the High Court. That I will take care. That is my responsibility also. We have to follow the High Court judgment direction also. But according to my observation, and as an individual, not a chief minister, as a Kannadiga, I request the producer of the movie or distributor of the movie. In this kind of atmosphere, it is not good on their part to release the movie.
And that's the newly minted Chief Minister of Karnataka, completely abdicating his responsibility to provide security to people who might want to watch a film over the weekend. Now, we understand that Mr. Kumaraswamy used to be a film director and a producer, but he is now the Chief Minister. And as the Chief Minister, it is now his responsibility to make sure that that film releases with security. What he's doing instead is saying, don't take a risk by releasing this film, which is a veiled threat and a warning to the distributors and the producers of the film, saying, if you release the film, I will not give you any protection. It's completely unacceptable. Joining me on the show today is Sanjana, who is an actor in Bangalore, Vaibhav Agarwal for the BJP, Brinda Adige is an activist in Bangalore, N.V. Krishna Kumar is the spokesperson of the JDS, will join us shortly. So will N.D. Mullah, retired DCP. And very interestingly, we also have Jawahar Nadar, the son of late S. Thiruvaim Nadar. Jawahar claims that the film was based on his father's life, although this has not been, acknowledged by the filmmakers at all. Jawahar, could you tell us why you believe the film is based on your father's life, and what is, do you think, and you've gone to court right now from what I understand in the Madras High Court, what are you hoping, what is your plea?
Actually, since the film has been on floors, Ranjit himself has made claims saying that the film is about a person who has come from Tirunelveli district, Umarikad village. Of course, he did not name the village, but he said that it's on a person who is from Tirunelveli district, who has come to Mumbai, made a living, and he has basically supported all the Tamil community people, because of which most of them are here in the city now. He faced all odds helping them. He tried to see to that all the political leaders, all the political activists of those times who were behind the backs of the South Indians, he gave them kind of a protection. And apart from that, none of the Tamilians, of those times were called Seths. Now, my father was the only person who was called Kala Seth as well as Gudwala Seth because of the kind of business he did. He was the biggest trader of good, jaggery of those times. So, he was fondly called as Gudwala Seth by the non-Tamilians and Annachi by the Tamilians. And apart from this, the kind of slang that has been used, the period that we are talking about, the kind of activities that Rajinikanth has been doing after the trailer. So, there is a lot of similarity between the main protagonist of the film and my father. So, basically, right for the last quite couple of months, we have been trying to get in touch with Ranjit. We have established contact with him. We have just asked him to give us some kind of a reference, some kind of a mention that the film is based on so-and-so person, or at least from a person who has come from Tirunelveli, but come on record. We have not asked for any remuneration,
so you want them to say based on the life of
S. Thiruvaim Nadar. That's what our demand is. We have never asked for any remuneration, because maybe they must be fearing that we are planning to take some money from them. Maybe that is the reason that they are not coming on record.
For our audience who perhaps are going to watch the movie tomorrow or the day after that, what was your father's story?
My father had a very interesting life. The thing is, he had come in a very young age from Tirunelveli district to Mumbai. He was friends with all the known dons, gangsters, or maybe the smugglers of those times, but he never indulged in these things. Maybe that is the kind of plot that Rajinikanth was looking for to launch his political career.
So Varatharajan Mudaliar and all of these people, this was the time.
Yeah, this was the time when Varatharajan Mudaliar, Haji Mastan, Yusuf Patel, and all these people were close friends of my father.
Okay.
No doubt about it. But then my father never indulged in any of the nefarious activities that they indulged in. My father was always away from all the activities that these known people indulge in. That's the reason maybe my father was never written about. all the media, maybe of some Tamil newspapers and magazines have written about him of those times, but then we are just trying to look at, because that was a time when there was no internet, no online copies, nothing. So basically nothing has been written about him. And then this film has been made because it was very clear that Rajinikanth, if he wants to launch his political party, he won't be enacting the life of maybe Haji Mastan or maybe Vardharaja Maharaj or any other people, because then somewhere down the line he will have to show him in one of the grey shades, grey characters. But then that's the reason he has selected this character and then revolved around, the film is revolved around this character as the teaser, as everything shows. Because one interesting fact is the umbrella that he's seeing is been seen holding in the film, in the one of the teasers. So that is very similar to, because all the people of our area, somewhere in Dharavi, Sayan Koliwada, Chembur and others, they are also finding very similar. So they were like, at least we should get a mention somewhere, you know, we don't want anything else, but then the kind of selfless life that he led. So there needs to be something to say.
So back in the 60s, there were a lot of Tamilians who had come to Mumbai looking for work.
Looking for work. So at that time, they needed someone who would give them some kind of a support, maybe monetary support, maybe physical support, or maybe some kind of a protection to see to that they are able to go ahead with their living which they craved for, because that was a time when Tamil Nadu was not as developed as it is now, and there were a lot of people from all over Tamil Nadu who used to just flock to the city. So that was a time when you needed someone, some godfather kind of a figure in the actual sense, not the sense that we are talking about them now.
And in the trailer, you know, Rajinikanth's character Kala is referred to as the king of Dharavi.
King of Dharavi.
Is that something that your father was
Yes,
referred to
if
as?
you go to Dharavi, if you just have a, because my father must spend most of his time there, because that area itself is fully of Nadar community of Tamilians, basically Tamil brothers, but then of that majority is from the Nadar community, people from Tirunelveli, Thoothukudi and other districts. So, and the dialect, the slang that has been used by Rajinikanth in the film, that is also very similar, the kind of actions, the way he is sitting.
He's also portrayed as a Dalit, you know, leader. But is the Nadar community upset about that?
That basically the after the film release, after the trailers that started, you know, there were these reports that at the end of the story, at the end of the film, Rajinikanth is shown as a Dalit leader. So that is the reason the people from the Nadar community, especially in Tamil Nadu, they are upset about this, because they are saying that if you are showing the lifestyle of a particular person, why are you afraid to show that he was from so and so community? Why do you want to change it at the end? Okay. So that is what the opposition is all about in the Tamil Nadu, and the case has been filed regarding that in Madras High Court.
In Madras High Court. All right, let me bring in the rest of my guests, and also if we have N.V. Krishna Kumar join us right now, the big question that we have to ask at this point is, why isn't the government of Karnataka willing to provide security to this film? Are they making the film a soft target? Is it fair for them to punish the producers of the film because they believe that Rajinikanth is on the opposite side of the Kaveri debate? Sanjana, I'm going to start with you. Films are always made a weak target, Sanjana, and in this case we can see Mr. H.D. Kumaraswamy, being from the film fraternity himself, choosing politics over free speech.
I can understand, but also see he's just sworn in as the chief minister, and I think he just wants to play it safe from all sides, because what happens is, just behind a film, if you're challenging the security in the entire city and you're, you know, you're giving encouragement to danga fasad just for the sake of entertainment, I think it's absolutely not safe. On the other hand, I feel really bad for the distributor. Mr. Kanakpura Srinivas is a very big distributor whom I know of. I come from the same industry. I have worked in his production as a protagonist in one of the films, and I really wonder what the producer of the film, that is whoever it is in Chennai, and what essentially the distributor who has bought out the film for the entire Karnataka region, I think he's definitely going to be having one hell of a sleepless night, and he's going to be burning his fingers, because what happens after the first week is the first Friday, Saturday, Sunday is the big weekend, you know, the big chunk weekend for any film to make the biggest bucks, because after that, you like it or you don't like it, there is a piracy world which just takes over and blows the film collections out of proportion, and it really gives a very hard time. Especially Telugu, Tamil and Hindi films are hugely still pirated in India. You like it or no, it is the truth, and not many people will be facing this truth. And yeah, I think it's really a sad scenario that Kaveri issue has steeped down to this level today, that we are fighting for casteism within ourselves, with our own neighbors. This is really a dangerous scenario. Like, I'm afraid if I go out in Bangalore in the coming months or the coming years, suddenly there'll be a Tamilian throwing a stone at a Kannadiga's house. I think that's a scary scenario to be in, and this is not something that I'm up for, and I'm not very happy with this kind of a scenario at all.
Well, let me bring in Vaibhav Agarwal as well. Vaibhav Agarwal, we saw this happen with Padmavat or Padmavati before this, Vaibhav, and now we're seeing it happen with the film Kala. Is politics now going to take over every walk of life, including cinema, including, you know, art and entertainment?
Good evening, Faye. No, Padmavati and Kala are a little different. Kala is not being protested
One was BJP, the other one was Congress.
By the people at large for one moment. No, one moment. Don't be too excited about making it sound like political, because it's not political. Let's look at it in the right light first, and then we will see if there is any politics in it. And you know, I'm apolitical about it. If it's, call it a spade if it's a spade. So let's look at it. Padmavati was being represented by a large group of people at general, you know, which were not politically motivated at all. Close to about 10-15 lakh people were protesting against a movie. You know, they were protest all India. They were protest of people talking about harming their religious sentiments or harming their cultural sentiments. Kala, whereas, has only two controversies. One is Rajnikant's political career is being linked to Kaveri issue for Kannadigas. So the Kannadigas, the so-called minority government and unholy alliance in Karnataka has come up and decided, okay, we'll not let it go because we want to be seen as the right people protecting Kannadigas, which is not the fact, because the film industry ultimately generates a lot of employment for the Kannadigas also. So as you know, as your panelist said, that you know, there's a large distributor, and I know him personally. There's a large distributor, and he generates close to 15,000 people as an employment. I think that's preposterous. So you can't match Padmavati. And the second controversy is the rights and the representation of the intellectual property, which can be decided in the courts. There is no people at large in terms of value creation. There are no religious or cultural sentiments that are being harmed. There is no politics around it. So actually, if you actually see, the JDS and the Congress, the unholy alliance, is doing politics in Karnataka. And the case cannot be merged with, in comparison with Padmavati or Padmavat.
In fact, very well argued, Vaibhav Agarwal, but I must disagree with you, because every argument you made applies both to Padmavat and to this film. The only difference, and this is why I'm going to bring up Brinda Adige, was that in the case of Padmavat, a lot of the hate was targeted at the woman who was leading the film, who was Deepika Padukone. They said they'll cut off her nose, that they'll cut off her head. In this case, there's a man, so there isn't any direct hate towards Mr. Rajnikant himself. But Brinda, do you buy that argument that Padmavat and this ruckus happening in Bangalore over Kala is different? Isn't it just politics?
Absolutely, you are right, Faye, it is politics. Though the gentleman argued and said that there are sentiments that are attached, religious sentiments, let's be very plain and agree that it is politics. Padmavat was one of them. Now we have Kala. Let us not forget Mercil, because there was some dialogue about GST and the BJP government did not want it. We are actually looking at films becoming soft targets, and we should also accept that there is both overt and tacit support by politicians and political parties. Two fringe elements who actually hold the entire state and the citizens at ransom, deciding what we citizens should watch and what we shouldn't watch by actually making statements and saying that somebody said something about Kaveri. Yes, this person should not have said whatever he said. Take him to court, no harm. Because that is your right and my right when our sentiments are heard because a statement is made. But when you're looking at a film, how do you choose and decide that one small group or three small groups of people will not allow you to watch it, and my CM saying, don't do it because I cannot extend protection? Now that is not acceptable to me.
Absolutely. I'm going to open up the phone lines right now, because I want our viewers from Bangalore to call us and tell us, do you want to watch the film, or are you so upset about Kaveri right now that you believe that this film should not be shown?
I want to watch the film. I don't understand Tamil though.
No, it comes. It has
Hindi also,
subtitles.
yeah.
It has subtitles. Don't worry,
No, I'm
you
a
can
pure
watch it.
Rajnikant fan. I want to watch the film.
In fact, I must tell our viewers
And I
that
want
the
to enjoy
entire
the
Mirror Now
translation in
team
Hindi,
has
trust me.
tickets
I
for.
want to hear Talaiva to say that.
In fact, the entire Mirror Now team has tickets for the first day first show tomorrow morning, which is what we're going to catch before we come into work. But now
Can I join you guys?
Well, we're in Mumbai, but you're welcome to join us.
No, the film has been basically made in Telugu, Hindi and other languages also, so I don't think language should be the problem here. But my only contention is here, like if it is based on someone's film, I think due credit should be given to the person, whoever it is. See, just because he's not there to defend, or maybe the person is not there in a position to actually create violence, or maybe actually do something to stop the film. If he would have been alive, the story would have been completely different, at least in the city of Mumbai. But then the issue here is someone is not there, you take away his life, you make a film on his life, and then don't give him the credit, which is the basic thing that the family is asking for. We are not asking for any remuneration, we are not asking for any royalty.
But that is how the film industry is. I think they are quite brutal and heartless.
They are very brutal, but then this needs to be stopped somewhere. But then this can't be the thing,
they
no?
don't give you the credits.
No, because there are instances wherein someone's scripts has been robbed, someone's scripts has been stolen, made it by someone else. And Ranjit has a very, I mean, I don't know what exactly, but then some people from the Tamil Nadu, my friends there, they have been saying that Ranjit has this habit of doing this every time.
At all.
And somewhere down there, every time he does this thing.
I mean, this is obviously an iconic thing.
Sadly works.
See, we all are Rajnikant fans. When I came to know that the film has been made on my father, we were the first people. We were so happy that, even after his death, after 15 years of his death, people have at least recognized him. Somewhere down the line, the kind of a glorious life, selfless life that he has led all his life, where he worked for the people, I have seen people, hundreds of people coming to our place every day.
So that black outfit that Rajnikant is wearing, that has nothing, I can see that.
Yeah, because the thing is here, I'll tell you one more thing, because the South, if you see the people from South, there won't be anyone who is wearing black. So maybe this is the kind of change he wanted to deviate from the actual thing, because he didn't want to look very obvious, because he knew this thing will definitely come up. That is the reason he has made it very obvious, because if you see, even only during protests, people in South wear black. Otherwise, black is the color which is hated by people from the South because of the climate or because of various reasons. But then here he has made a very categorical...
Except for one pilgrimage, and that outfit
that
is...
during Ayyappa Swami pilgrimage, people wear black. Apart from that, no one wears black unless it's only for a protest. So he has made a very deliberate attempt to see to it that there is no reference anywhere. But apart from the outfit, everything else is similar. So we had only asked for... I personally had spoken to him a couple of times. He was like, no, it's not that, I'll let you know, aisa nahi hai, main aapko batata hu.
So when you were growing up, and from what we can see in the trailer, at least I've only seen the trailer, none of us have actually seen the film, there's a lot of excitement in his family life, because people are attacking, there are protests. Do you remember any of that?
I remember when I was very young, I still remember, hundreds of people, 50, 100, every day they used to come right from early morning, because that was the time when there was only a landline, that also privileged few used to have the landlines. And then you actually had to meet the person in person, you have to meet someone in person. So many people used to come with their normal life, normal activities, normal issues, and my father's word was the final. Whenever he used to, we call it Katta Panchayat, but then now the term has been changed. Now people are doing it for ulterior motive, but at that time it was always justice at the spot, and it was actually justice. It was never in favor of someone, it was never against someone, it was always very,
do you remember a specific instance?
I remember specific incidents. He's still alive. If I knew this, I would have bought him, because what the very interesting thing that he had told me, someone owed him a couple of lakhs, 2.75 lakhs, some 30 years back, and he tried to take it from, ask him to return it, and he was never. He came to my father with his family, he just fell at my father's feet, ki, Annachi, this is the thing, you'll have to help me. Then my father, he was like, Annachi, taxi ready, aap aiye. That was time when taxis were very common and cars were not very easily used by everyone. So my father just went to that person and just asked him in his gruff voice or whatever at that time. And within 2-3 days, the money was returned to him. And another aspect to it is the person who owed the money, the one who got the money, he offered my father 50,000 rupees of the 2.75 lakhs. But my father, the gentleman that he was, he actually shouted at him that I didn't come with you for this. This is not my work. And then, but then the person was so unhappy. He was wondering, "Ki ab main kya karu?" And then the person is still alive. I can bring him whenever you tell me.
So was your father a don?
So Don in the right sense, but then that term is a godfather. Then I'll tell you, the person actually went to the fruit market. He got
Robin
fruits
Hood.
worth 500 rupees.
Huh?
And then my father was happy accepting the
Perhaps
500
the Robin
rupees
Hood.
worth of fruit, but not the 50,000 rupees that the man offered him. So now actually the term is, there was a time when Bhai, Don, they were actually used in the
Nayagan?
right term. Nayagan.
Is it
These
fair to
people
call
were
them Nayagan?
actually, these people were actually working for the poor people. They never had anything. See, the thing is, they never had anything for themselves. If that would have been the case, it would have been completely different. We are still having a very middle class, upper middle class maybe kind of a life. It's not that we are very, very rich, but God has been kind. My father worked hard for everything. But at the end of the day, these were actually people who wanted to help others because of the kind of maybe goodwill they had, and the number of people used to come to meet him.
Did you meet any of his other friends in the Don community
I
at
met
that time?
everyone.
You
I
met
met everyone. I played in their labs. They have been very fond of me.
Who have you met?
I met Vardarajan Mudaliar, whom we used to call Varda Bhai.
Okay.
His family is in close touch with me. I've been speaking to them. They are very good friends of mine. And I met Haji Mastan also at that time. So I met everyone. It's not that, because at that time we didn't know what they are into. And even then, now they don't have any specific cases against them, registered against them. People are saying they were into such and such businesses. But then there is nothing to actually, no criminal cases has been lodged or nothing like that. But then,
But you're confident that even though your father, sat and, met them on a regular basis, he was never involved in any of their
yes,
businesses?
you never know, because there is not a single case registered against him. The people there, everyone knows that my father was, somehow he avoided being into this thing. Even though he was friends with everyone, he never got into this kind of a business. Even when my father was actually invited by them, because there were a lot of people from my community, from our community there, they wanted my father to join the businesses, the smuggling, but then my father somehow never wanted to. So maybe that is the reason
Yes.
the film has been made on him.
Well, it's very interesting. So this is Jawahar Nadar, the son of the original Kala Seth. He believes that the film Kala is based on his father's life. I suppose we'll know soon enough because the High Court is hearing that case. But in the meantime, we have Mr. N.D. Mullah, retired DCP, joining us on Skype. Mr. Mullah, thank you for joining us. Do you believe that the Karnataka Chief Minister should have made such a weak statement saying, I don't think people should release this film because it's too much of a risk? Because it's the Chief Minister who should be giving confidence at this point.
Just assumed the office and he doesn't want any controversy perhaps. But what I suggest that it doesn't augur very well with for the Chief Minister. I feel some kind of conciliation should be done with the people who are protesting, because there is not just a just reason. There is no reason, absolutely I don't find much of a reason, except a few sentiments and some faction of a organization asking for not to be released. This should be sorted out, and there should be political will. If there is a political will to release it, and if we talk to the people who are protesting, police should not have any problem in giving protection. I think the film should be released because it is a work of art. Plus, lot of people are involved. Poor people are involved in making the film. It is not only Rajinikanth, because Kannadigas are a faction of Kannadigas. I am not telling all Kannadigas are against it. A faction of them are. The film should be released under protection. Released.
Bell baji bell.
Right, the film should be released. Rakesh is on the phone line from Bangalore. Rakesh, go ahead.
Yeah, hi, good evening to all.
Good evening.
I'm really happy that Mirrors Now is debating this issue. So my point of view is, Kaveri issue is going on forever. It's been a very long time, and you should not, I don't find any reason to hold
Exactly.
the launch of any movie. Let it be Rajinikanth or anyone. I don't think it should be politically motivated. This is just a group of people who are just trying to get into the limelight, is what I sense. Honestly, you go onto the streets of Bangalore.
Will you go watch it tomorrow, Rakesh?
Launched. I'm sorry?
Would you like to go watch it tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm in fact, I was trying to go and watch this movie in Chennai, but now my plans have changed. I'll be watching the first day first show because I'm a huge Rajni fan.
All right. And unfortunately, the film releases tomorrow morning, and we don't know if the tickets are up for sale yet in Bangalore, because Bangalore doesn't have the film listing right now. I'm going to check with my team if the tickets are up for sale in Bangalore. But as of now, from where we are at this point, there are no tickets in Bangalore to watch Kala tomorrow morning for the first day first show. And Brinda, you know, this I actually don't agree with this statement that he's just taken office and he doesn't want controversy. Now, if you don't want controversy, don't become the chief minister. If you don't want controversy, don't take office. Now, you've become the chief minister, you've taken office, it's your responsibility. This is your first challenge. You should be up for the job.
Whether
You're
it's the first day or the 100th day,
I think it's
doesn't
an
matter.
absolutely irresponsible statement to say that somebody does not want to get into a controversy. You and I can say that, but not the chief minister. He has taken up that position knowing fully well what is entailed in whatever responsibility he has taken. The state machinery is at his disposal, and he has to now say that the state machinery will be there out when the film is released to protect the citizens and not give in to fringe groups, because every now and then we have fringe groups who come and tell that we will not allow a film to be released, we will not allow an actor or an actress to come and sit and have tea or coffee, we will do this, we will do that. What are you thinking of us citizens? Can we not make our own choices and decisions? You want to take an actor to court, please do. Nobody says don't do that. But you come and say that you should not release this film, it is for your best interest. I think that is irresponsible, because that is not what we expect from the chief minister when he has the entire state administration and the state machinery at his disposal to see that that safety, that protection will be extended to the citizens who want to watch the film and not given to fringe elements. I don't accept this controversy. That is why he doesn't want to, make a statement that the film will be released over there. You've taken up that position knowing fully well that all of this needs to be taken in your stride.
Absolutely. And Sanjana, film actors are normally made easy targets. And there's almost a sense that no actor should have an opinion about anything. Because as soon as you have an opinion and as soon as you say something against the ruling party, you will be targeted when your next film comes out. Is that not true?
See, I think that's absolutely true. Like, actors need to think a lot these days, because whatever we do, we have to set an example in the society. We are not supposed to do this, we are not supposed to do that. We are stepping out, we are not supposed to wear small clothes. We are wearing small clothes and we are stepping out. They think we are a, cultural disaster. Everything is being taken in a wrong way. Everything is so hypersensitive about being an actor, about being known. If you get divorced, then you're a very bad human being, and then the collection of your films go down. But out here right now, since we are talking about the Kaveri issue is not a small issue. This has been, going on for years and years together. There's been the Karnataka Film Chamber conducting riots with all the Kannada actors. There has been the Tamil Film Chamber conducting riots with all the Tamil actors put together. But out here, I think if Rajnikant sir would have just been diplomatic and stayed away from the Kaveri issue, this day certainly wouldn't have arisen, where a film named Kala, which is ready to take over the box office and win hearts, would have suffered. Therefore, I think Rajnikant sir at some point should have just stayed away from the Kaveri issue, just by being a true entertainer and true to his audience. But now I think because he made a very strong statement regarding the same, therefore the collections will suffer. More than the collections, I'm really feeling very bad for the producers. I'm feeling very, very bad for the distributors, because with one film, it's a make or break scenario. There are bank loans that they have to pay up. Many a times people put their house documents in the bank and then get their funds, then get their finances. That's the kind of a challenge when faced when you're making a film of 100 or 150 crores. This is like real big money rolling on the producers and the distributors' chests, and God knows how much percentage do they even take free finance in the market for. And this is like the trend in the film industry. Sometimes you wouldn't believe it, people take
money on interest one-on-one from some brutal financiers at even 5% or even at 10% for a month.
Sure.
For example, if he's taken a crore, can you imagine within a month he has to return a crore and 10
it's
lakhs?
obviously difficult
That's
for
kind
the
of a
producers
challenge our
and the
distributors
directors,
face. That's the
and
kind
which
of
is why that
it's extremely difficult.
Yes,
It's
yes.
very sad.
Yes. Anil Kumar is on the phone line from Trivandrum. He has a question for you about your dad. Anil Kumar, go ahead.
Yeah, look, I just saw the gentleman eulogizing his father's good Don
Hello?
status. I heard this man talk good about his father's good Don status, and he was a good Don, he said. Now, let me just ask him one question.
Okay.
In case, in an event when his father went to a person and demanded something, let's say justice or whatever it is, and the other person refused to heed to his demand.
No, why would you demand something from someone else which is not rightfully his? Why would you demand something?
No. My question is, what would be the recourse?
So I think he's referring to you said that your father had asked for the money to be paid back.
The person actually owed money to the other person.
So what happens if that person had said, let's assume said no? Then what would have happened?
See, if he is in a position to give it, I think everyone should return it. If he was not in a position to give it, to return it, he could have always sought for more time. He would have always paid in some installments. It's not that he was forced to do it. But then since my father and the other person who has lent him the money knew that he has the money and doesn't have the intention to return it. He was more of a willful defaulter. So that is the reason here. So it's not that he was coerced, he was not having the money and he was forced to return the money. It was not like that. It's just that he owed him the money and he had the resource to repay it, but he didn't want to due to whatever reasons.
No, I think the question that he's asking you is, was there any sort of violence involved at any point that you remember?
Violence was involved, but then the violence was generally for more of a self-defense kind of thing, and always it was retaliatory. It was always for defense. It was never the first kind of attack. It was never for ulterior motives or never for getting something done which was not legally or which was not rightfully his or the person who has come to him. So violence was involved. I would never deny that, because that is shown in the film also. Because I think the dialogue says where the protagonist Rajnikant's wife says that how long can he fight? Nanu Pakre Etanal Sande Potra. Because of his aging. Because I have heard my mother telling my father also, Ki ho gaya, now you're growing old now, it's not the right time to fight so much. Your children are becoming big, your children are now in school, what kind of a reflection, what kind of a thing they will have. Example you're setting for your children. But then the kind of selfless life that he led, people coming to him even at 2 o'clock at night, he used to get up and just go. He never thought about any other thing, because I think maybe that is a kind of hardship that he felt, and he always had a feeling, if I am in a position to help someone, I should definitely do it. That is, I think.
So the very interesting stories being told to us by Jawahar Nadar here, the son of late S. Thiruvayam Nadar, who he says the film is based on his father, who was called Kala Seth.
Kala Seth, Gudwala Seth, yes.
Who lived in Dharavi.
Who lived in Dharavi. Basically, he used to go to Dharavi almost every day. He stayed there for quite some time. He stayed in his younger days there.
Yes. Let me just go across to NV Krishna Kumar, spokesperson of the JDS. We've been waiting for him to join us this entire time. Mr. Krishna Kumar, thank you for joining us. Very straight question, Mr. Krishna Kumar. The statement made by the Chief Minister today of Karnataka is very sad for all of us as citizens of the state. How can we have a Chief Minister who says that my advice, the filmmakers must oblige the opposing parties and not release the film. I request the producer and distributor not to take a risk. Is this fair? Is it not the responsibility of the Chief Minister to provide security? We seem to have a problem with that audio. We're going to try and get that back. We'll just play that bite out one more time. Can we play the bite out at least?
Also, as the head of the Karnataka state government, I have to implement whatever direction given by the High Court. That I will take care. That is my responsibility also. We have to follow the High Court judgment direction also. But according to my observation, And as an individual, not a chief minister, as a Kannadiga, I request the producer of the movie or distributor of the movie, in this kind of atmosphere, it is not good on their part to release the movie. As a Kannadiga, I request the producer of the movie or distributor of the movie, in this kind of atmosphere, it is not good on their part to release the movie, according to me. Even if they release the movie, I know I am an experienced person. Basically, I am also a film distributor and producer. It will not going to useful to them financially. Why unnecessarily by releasing the movie, this kind of controversy they wanted to create?
Padmavat, yeah, as I said, the Padmavat case was entirely different. Padmavat was being talked about the culture, the fitment in the society, the reality, the history, and so on and so forth. Padmavat was showcased as an epic. Padmavat was showcased as the artist's work for history. So, if you look at it, I think what JDS's chief minister in Karnataka, with just 37 seats, with 18% votes in the state, I'm amazed at the democracy that India has. He has no right to be the chief minister, because simply put, that he's shunning away from his duty and responsibility to talk about it in a larger debate format. He's shunning away from it. He's just simply cleaning his hands away from a issue which needs to be talked about. In fact, I would even request him that it is within his powers to, I wish Danish Ali was here today. He always talks very high of his chief minister, and of course they're close to each other. But it is within his powers to have intervened for our friend's intellectual property claim as well on the movie. And it would have been excellent for everyone to look at.
Yes.
Today everyone looks at Indian politicians with a very black eye. It would have been very generous of him, very graceful of him, if he would have talked about stopping the movie on issues pertaining to people, the Kannadigas that he represents. He is a public representative. He is doing it for the sake of politics, which is very petty and pitiful.
Would you agree with what is happening right now in Karnataka, where the film is not being released because of politics?
The issue here is since Rajnikant's political debut, or maybe political speech, the kind of statement that he has made regarding Kaveri river, Kaveri water, he has made a statement which will benefit maybe the state of Tamil Nadu. Maybe somewhere down the line he must be having the interest of the distributors in Tamil Nadu also, because he is seeing Tamil Nadu as a bigger market than Karnataka. So when he has to make a statement somewhere down the line, when he has to take positions, I think he would be taking the stand as because his son-in-law, who is the head of Wonderbar Films, who has produced the movie, maybe somewhere down the line he must be thinking that Tamil Nadu is a bigger market than Karnataka. Maybe that is one of the reasons why he must have made this statement, because this is the time when
One moment. Can I?
Yes, Mr. Agarwal.
Can I?
Yes, Mr.
Come
Agarwal,
in on
please.
this. One moment. I think what you're getting into is an area which you don't have particular knowledge of. Let me tell you this: that if Sanjana is an actress,
let me also tell you, Vaibhav Agarwal.
That is the reason I told you.
Nader is a senior journalist.
No, that is the reason I told you. Just because of his political debut, political launch,
we have to agree to it.
He is also a producer. His son-in-law is also a producer. So maybe, yeah.
No, Vaibhav Agarwal, let me just also tell you one second. Let me also tell you that Jawahar Nader is a senior journalist.
See,
it's unfair to say
let me have a general poll here. Let me have a general poll here. Everybody is just out here to impress. When it comes to the politicians, they just want to impress their own voter banks. It might be the Karnataka CM.
That maybe we can tell the same thing about Mr. Rajnikant also.
It might have been even the Padmavat's case, where BJP kept quiet just because they wanted
maybe
their
we can say the same thing about Mr.
secure.
Rajnikant also, because since he is going to contest the elections in Tamil Nadu, he is not going to do it in Karnataka. So maybe he has his interest there. He has a vote bank in Tamil Nadu. He doesn't have a vote bank in Karnataka.
Suffering.
Yes.
Some producer will suffer, some distributor will
See,
suffer.
the thing is, I'll tell you one more example. When Baba film was released, the film made huge losses. There was a time when Rajinikanth actually refunded all the producers. So maybe he will take a stand in this film also, because he is looking at his political career, political launch. So maybe he is looking at the vote bank in Tamil Nadu. Why are you not looking at that angle?
I just want to play out this one last bite because we're running out of time, and this is why it's so important, because Rajinikanth actually put out a statement in Kannada, not in Tamil, asking the people of Karnataka to support the film. Listen in.
ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ಸಹೋದರರಿಗೆ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ ಬಂದು ಬಿಡಬಾರ್ದು, ಆ ಕಾಲ ಒಂದು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಿರೋ ನಮ್ಮ ಕನ್ನಡ ಸಹೋದರಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಬಂದು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾನೇನು ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಂದು ಕಾಲ ನಾವು ಸಿಟ್ಟು ಕೊಡಿ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಅದೇ ಥರ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸೊ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಆ ಪಿಕ್ಚರನ್ನು ಯಾರು ಬಡದ ನೋಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಆಸೆ ಪಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವರಿಗೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಡಿ. ಆ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ಬಂದು ಸಹಕಾರ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಬಹಳ ನಮ್ರತೆಯಿಂದ ತಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Well, that was Rajinikanth making an appeal to the people of Karnataka in Kannada, asking for the people. Remember, he grew up in Bangalore. He was raised in Karnataka, asking the people of Bangalore and Karnataka to support the film that he's releasing. And he said very clearly, "Nani en tapp madlilla. I haven't done anything wrong. I just made a statement saying the Supreme Court order needs to be followed, and that is not a reason why you should, actually, not support the film." Do we have Raj, the distributor? Yes, Raj is on the phone line. He's the distributor right now for Kala in Karnataka. Raj has apparently just met with the police commissioner. Raj, ಈಗ ಸ್ಟೇಟಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ? ನಾಳೆ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ ಕಾಲಾ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ?
ಹೌದು ಮೇಡಮ್, ಖಂಡಿತ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. ಬಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ. ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಕಮಿಷನರ್ ಸಿಎಂ ಅವರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಅವರು ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೂ ನಿಲ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಾಳೆ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
ಎಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ?
ಮೇಡಮ್, ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೂ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಓವರ್ ಆಗಿ 130 ಇಂದ 150 ತನಕ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು.
130 ಇಂದ 150, 130 to 150 screens all over Karnataka. The film will be released tomorrow morning. ಈಗ ಅದು ರಾಜ್, ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಬುಕಿಂಗ್ ಸೈಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಕಾಲಾ ಫಿಲ್ಮಿಗೆ? ಯಾವಾಗ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಟಿಕೆಟ್? ಯಾವಾಗ ನಾವು ಕೊಂಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು?
ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅದು ಈಗಲೇ ಬುಕಿಂಗ್ ಓಪನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದು ನೈಟ್ ಒಂದು 12 o'clock ಒಳಗಡೆ ಬುಕಿಂಗ್ ಓಪನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna leave it there. Raj, thank you for joining us. This is where it is for viewers in Bangalore and across Karnataka. By midnight tonight, the bookings will open for tickets of Kala. You will be able to watch it in Bangalore. There's no reason to panic. Raj telling us over 130 to 150 screens across the state of Karnataka will in fact show the film. He has just met with the police in the state who have assured protection. This is of course the big first test for the new Chief Minister of Karnataka, and it'll be interesting to see how the administration manages to pull this off. I want to thank my guests for joining us in this conversation. We're going to keep an eye on this entire process, and we hope that tomorrow when the film actually releases, there will be peace in the state of Karnataka, because it is art at the end of the day. Film is an expression, and we shouldn't bring our politics and our problems into art. There is, of course, a way to solve the Kaveri issue, and we should all work towards solving that issue and finding a solution for a problem that has raged for so long. But in the meantime, while 2 states wait for water, we have a prediction of fantastic rains for this year, and we have a film that's releasing tomorrow. Thanks for watching.